About $300,000 is how much Bachelor Anum Onyeka is saying that she, her family, her closest friends, and even a colleague were all scammed out of by one man. Man she once believed was her soulmate. His name? Martin Fursgaard Anderson. A charming blonde 6'3" real estate mogul who claimed he had royal ties, a booming tech business, and wealth that would one day be theirs to share. Instead, Onyeka was left with years of trauma and coming to TikTok to tell her story, which she calls the Danish Deception. It's a 26-part story, which she says began in June of 2022 when she decided to take a trip with her friend to Croatia. It was at a beach club when she noticed Martin immediately, and that was when he decided to approach her. He was confident, their chemistry was magnetic, and there was an instant spark. They exchanged social media, and she saw him one more time before returning to the US, but it wasn't the last time she heard from him. He messaged her constantly, invited her to come party with him in Ibiza, and then eventually convinced her to join him for a work trip in Monaco. After a month of talking over the phone, she agreed and he flew her out, paid for the hotel and her flight. In Monaco, he was everything he had promised, charismatic, adored, and effortlessly networking in real estate circles. After that, he whisked her to Saint-Tropez, paid for a $2,000 a night hotel, and offered to buy her whatever she wanted. She said she never wanted him to think that she was only there for his money, so she didn't let him buy her all these extravagant gifts. Instead, she opted for a $200 sunglasses. She fell hard for the first time in her life, telling him over a loud dinner that she was in love with him. 2 nights later, she collapses in a restaurant on the way to the bathroom and is eventually taken to the hospital, to which at that point he tells her he's falling in love with her too. Back home, the romance intensifies. He meets her friends, her family, and he fits right in. He flies to see her often, and then money requests begin. There are so many details to this story, but at some point he convinces her that he's buying properties, his money is tied up, that the IRS has a hold on not only his personal, but his business account. He lent him $6,000, then more and more. All while planning a life together in the US, they get married, he's applying for a visa, and eventually gets a green card. At this point, the cracks are forming. She's visiting his family in Denmark, and things aren't matching what he's telling her. After getting married, she finds out from his friend that he has a severe gambling addiction, one that he's been battling for over a decade. Later finds out that he had borrowed $200,000 from her friend's husband that he hadn't paid back. Relationship is going up and down. He convinces her that that's in the past, and later she finds out that he has been borrowing money from a lot of people in her life. Tens of thousands of dollars from one person to another, $3,000 from her little sister. Every loan came with its own set of lies. Every time she would confront him, there were so many excuses until one day he had no excuse left to give, and so he asked for a divorce. Only when he left did she realize the magnitude of it all, from exes to cheating to gambling to lies to manipulation. He is now sharing her story, and while she did not give his name or his photos, the internet did its thing, and I decided to share it as well because people need to know about this man. There's of course so much more that I left out, and I highly recommend watching this 26-part, which I did tag in my captions.